Hello everyone. Thank you for checking out today's video. I would really appreciate it if you could leave a like and subscribe. Let's get started. People who work at or frequently visit Disney. What do you know that would ruin the magic? I have been stranded on a stopped rocket inside Space Mountain at Disneyland. It took about 15 minutes to get the ride moving again. Anyway, we ended up riding it with the lights on, and it's a surprisingly slow, tame roller coaster. There are fans blowing air in your face to give it the illusion of speed. Yeah, it's one of the slowest coasters at any major park. Frankly, it's super impressive how they make it feel fast. It's also heavily air conditioned so that the wind feels faster. The fast and thumping music also adds to the feeling. I rode it in the 80s before they had the music. It felt fast then too. The music slaps, and I like it better with it. When you walk through areas of Magic Kingdom and you smell freshly baked cookies in a certain area, it's not actual cookies from one of the stores. They secretly spray cookie smell to add to the effect. I want me some of that smell. Where can I buy cookie smell? I don't know if they do room sprays, but Spireside makes candles in a billion different Disney scents. I don't know whether this will ruin anything. It's just a fun fact. Walt Disney was a chain smoker and constantly had a cigarette in his hand. Consequently, a majority of the photographs taken of him show him holding a cigarette. In today's modern society, it is no longer socially appropriate to be a chain smoker, so the Disney company has airbrushed the cigarettes out of all the old photos of Walt that they use for publicity. This leaves Walt holding his hand in a very strange position, with two fingers extended, where there used to be a cigarette between them. The Disney company's official explanation for this is that Walt had a very unique hand gesture, that every time he pointed, he did so with two fingers. In order to perpetrate this lie on the public, all Disney employees, in the parks, the hotels, the Disney stores in malls, everywhere, are required to point with two fingers, and are told, this is the Disney way. And the whole reason is to make the public comfortable with seeing that gesture, so that Walt doesn't look weird in all those old pictures, where the cigarettes have been erased. Try it. The next time you're around a Disney employee, ask for directions, or ask where something is. I guarantee you, they will point with two fingers. It's also because pointing with one finger is considered rude in other cultures. Pointing at people is not to give directions. I worked in broadcast services in Anaheim. There is not a single place in the park, except for bathrooms, and in some cast member areas, where you cannot be seen on CCTV. That sounds incredibly expensive. It's Disney. The next time you're in the park, look for a few of the coolest spots. Just to the southwest of Pirates, look up on the roofline and you'll see a $12K troll cam disguised as a chimney. It's full pan/tilt/zoom, and KABC uses it often for their weather backgrounds, shots of the rivers of America. If you're leaving Small World/Toontown, check out the very top of the Matterhorn, and you'll see 3 small holes. Cameras in each. Several cameras in trees, painted to match. Cameras in Main Street windows, flagpoles, on the train, everywhere. Cameras are especially prevalent on attractions. It may be dark on Pirates, but you're being watched the entire time by the cast member in the crow's nest. If you're doing something especially bad, they'll stop the boats and pull you out. I need to up my dance game. I love dancing in front of security cameras to amuse the bored people who have to watch them all day. All the mascots are just people in costumes. That's just stupid. Of course they're not. This is Moffle, Fairy of Sweets. There's no one inside. Every time you call Disney, you're calling a random call center. They also give their employees fake names that sound more Disney. This is true. We have a friend that works in the call center and you have to select a name so that you leave your persona at home. What kind of names are we talking about? Asking the important questions. Backquote, good morning. Thanks for calling Disney. Pinocchio speaking. How can I help? If it means anything, I don't use a fake name, but I'll pretend I'm Mickey Mouse sometimes if a kid is acting up while their parent is on the phone. It's a lot of haha, be a good boy little Tommy, or you're not allowed to visit me. Haha, naughty children get to visit the clubhouse basement. We'll see you real soon. I'm a cast member at Disneyland, California. The one thing that ruins the magic is all the people who complain to get free things. I work at guest relations and all the time people complain about trivial things to try and get fast passes or other free things. Does any particular instance come to mind? I'd love to hear some of those stories. Some of the things people complain about are downright hilarious. I don't have examples, but I'm sure it's the same kind of things people do everywhere. Oh, we had to wait in line. It was hot. There was a fly buzzing around. We paid money for this trip and my little girl didn't get to go on some ride because it's closed raw. If a ride breaks down while you're on it or waiting, they'll usually give you fast passes and that's a legit thing. But you get the same people who complain over BS to get free stuff at Disney, like you do everywhere else. Yeah, I had someone complain that they got wet on Splash Mountain and we had to give them vouchers to buy new pants, shoes, and shirts in the park. Lots of visitors will try to spread the ashes of loved ones on theme park rides. Walt Disney World has 2 abandoned parks. 1, River Country was a water park. Before it closes, an 11-year-old visitor died after coming into contact with brain-eating amoeba at the park. Costumed characters are not allowed to take off their costume in public. The average temperature high in Orlando in summer is around 91. In 2004, a cast member dressed up as Pluto was killed after a parade float ran over him. I was never a Disney employee, but I do live in Orlando. It is very hot there, no matter what season you're in. In the middle of December, 81 degrees, you're lucky if it goes down to 50. Summer? I think it was 95 once, but I'm not entirely sure. Overall a very hot place. Bring water and lots of sunscreen, even if Orlando is in the central Florida area. I don't think this ruins anything, but it always makes me laugh. The night show at Hollywood Studios is called Fantasmic, and it ends with a bunch of characters going by on Steamboat Willie. Then they all go inside, and fireworks/sparks stream down the side of the boat. Well, Ariel has a tail and can't walk, so she has to stay outside on her pedestal at the back of the boat. So Prince Eric wraps a fireproof blanket around her before going in. It's dark on that part of the boat when it happens, but if you watch for it, you can definitely see it. Hey, this is one I actually knew. A friend who worked Fant told me, and it made me laugh every single time I saw it. I used to be a centimeters and we called it putting the fish in the bagel mayo. Some of the princesses do coke to stay peppy. They call her Snow White for a reason. My girlfriend is an avid Disney fan and goes all the time. Her favorite thing to point out is how often they reuse old animatronics. For example, in Disneyland, California there used to be an old attraction called America Sings, where animals would sing to an audience. When the ride closed, some of the geese in the attraction were stripped and used in the queue for Star Tours as droids. A lot of others ended up going to Splash Mountain. Rumor has it, they use the old Begal animatronic from the Country Bears for Rudgy Booby in the holiday overlay of the Haunted Mansion. They also reuse molds of animatronics, so there are many in Spaceship Earth, Carousel of Progress, and Haunted Mansion in Orlando who share faces with the president in the Hall of Presidents. Dude, Begal was creepy, and when I was a kid, especially with his blood song, there was blood on the saddle. And there was blood on the ground. There was blood on the saddle. And blood all around. And a great big puddle of blood on the ground. That combined with the way he looked fucked me up. I worked as a chef at Disneyland. Most of the food at the most expensive parts of Disneyland, the Winery, Blue Bayou, use canned and over-processed ingredients. Any dietary restrictions? You are most likely getting food from a microwave. Despite having some of the most skilled chefs on the planet, they cut corners in every way. My sister got to eat at Cinderella's castle 2 years ago. She said the food was like overpriced Applebee's quality, complete waste of money. That being said, some of the restaurants there have food so good that, if they managed that with a microwave, I wouldn't even care. I saw some YouTube video of a Disney princess that worked at the park. She had literal stalkers that would show up constantly and talk to her. They would even get angry at the replacement if the person the stalker was stalking had to have their normal shift off. Disney wouldn't do anything until the stalker did something physical or lewd. A 40-year-old man coming to visit a specific 20-year-old girl that had to interact with the man with a smile day after day wasn't creepy enough for Disney. That's scary. I know that the different Peter Pan actors have been nicknamed by fans, and they will visit their specific favia rights. Also, one set of Peter Pan and Wendy actors got married. One of them lost his job because of that. If people start talking about different Peter Pans, it ruins the character integrity. That is, there's only one Mickey, one Cinderella, etc.